Well, tonight, like I said, we are talking about GiftMe, which is, would you call it a fintech? Well, I'll ask him. Startup. It's less than 5 years, I think. Well, let's find out more about GiftMe. You may have seen them advertising. You may have seen the little stickers at the stores. You may have even received a GiftMe or given a GiftMe. And I think our CEO and co-founder, Rashidi Thomas, probably likes that I'm using it as a verb right now or as a noun. Hi, Rashidi. Welcome to Taking Stock for the first time.
Here.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, this audio is not sounding good. Can you speak for me again? There was a drag in your audio. All right, tell us a little bit about yourself, Rashidi.
Yes, I'm Chief Operating Officer.
This is not working. No, this is not working. So we are going to have to figure this out behind the scenes.
1 second.
There is a terrible drag in Rashidi's audio, unfortunately. But I want to show you, if you are not familiar with this company, especially if you don't live in Jamaica, you might not know, but if you don't live in Jamaica, you should know that this is a very easy and convenient way to send something to a loved one back home. So the concept is digital gift cards. And I recently had the pleasure of using it. I see Rashidi is back. Let me see if his audio issue is resolved. Much better. There we go. All right. So Rashidi, tell us how you got started as an entrepreneur.
Well, it's a good question. So essentially I was, most of my former years, was in banking, investment banking to be accurate. And I went away to do my master's in finance in Europe, and I came back to Jamaica, and I realized that, boy, there's a whole new world out there for entrepreneurship and, startups and all of those things. And from then, I started to dabble in my own thing, trying different ventures. Some of them failed. And then I met up with Rashai, who really is the brainchild of GiftMe in terms of the initial concept. Right. He's the architect, the man in the back who builds the whole infrastructure. So, we became friends, and through that, he realized that, myself, because my specialty really was, in sales and customer facing, business operations, marketing and all of those stuff. And his specialty was in building products, right? So he pretty much came to me with this idea to say, Rashid, I have a great idea and I need you to partner with me on it. And then the rest is history.
So yes, I remember you were working in investment banking indeed. What made you want to transition to entrepreneurship and give all those, as you said, you had some that failed before GiftMe?
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
a shot.
I mean, honestly, working in traditional institutions, sometimes it's difficult to, to really make your impact be felt. You have new ideas, you're bubbling with stuff, and I just felt like, it was time for me to really put my energy into something that, I had more control over, and something that it just felt it was a time. I was really just kind of, finished with the whole corporate life, and I wanted to really venture out and take the plunge and take the risk. And it just so happened that, I met up with Rashai, and, yeah.
So he's the tech guy and you're the marketing guy, basically.
Marketing, sales, product, everything else but coding.
So how long ago was this company founded? Has it been 5 years yet?
No, I mean, a lot of people think it's been a long time, but really we were founded we were launched May 2021 to be exact, and that was strategic because that was the Mother's Day. So essentially, before that, we had built out an MVP. For all those who are listening, it's called a minimum viable product. So it's not the full product as yet. It's just something to say, all right, we have a prototype of what we want to go on, so we can go ahead and start getting merchants and start getting sales. So, leading up to May, we wanted to launch in May because, as I said, Mother's Day, it was COVID, right? And that's kind of why I believe this product did so well so early, because at that time, persons were locked up in their houses, social distancing, persons overseas wanted to still feel, personalized touch with their family members here. You can't buy, if you're in Jamaica, you can't really just go into a store and buy a gift card, right? So this it solved a real problem, whereby merchants also needed to still keep their shops running. So, if you can't go out and buy a physical gift card, Mother's Day is coming up, right? Spas really need to start selling gift cards just the same. But if you can't actually physically go to the spa, then, you can sell your digital gift cards. And that's kind of, what catapulted the whole onboarding of merchants and all that stuff.
So I was very impressed when I went on your website recently to buy an e-gift card, and I saw the categories and all the merchants that you have, because I remember when you guys started, there was just a handful of merchants on there, and now it's basically every Jamaican company. GiftMe. So how did you get all of these partnerships?
I mean, to be honest, Kalilah, is just a lot of groundwork. In startups, they say that you have to do the things that don't scale. And that really means a lot of walking up to merchants, banging on doors, right? Camping out, speaking to decision makers, asking friends to put you on to people who they know, all of that stuff. And really, as I said, it's solving a real problem, right? And what our value proposition is to these merchants is that, hey, we can give you access to different distribution channels if you partner with us. Right, persons can stay from overseas and buy a gift card. Right, they can't do that now if you don't have an online channel. Right, we also partner with a lot of companies in Jamaica who uses our platform to buy gift cards in bulk for their staff members, and through that, these merchants also get easy access. Right, whereby now maybe a company would have maybe bought the predominant merchant, the big supermarkets or gas stations. But when the company buys a GiftMe card, the employee can choose to use it wherever they want to use it, right? So we give pretty much access to all of these merchants, on a greater scale.
And that's the beauty of it, because you can buy a card for a specific merchant, or you can just buy a card, put $10,000 on it, and tell the recipient use it wherever you like.
Yeah, and people really love the convenience, to be honest, right? We track user behavior, and we have a lot of repeat customers. So once they come on and the service is they enjoy the experience, the recipient gets the gift card, they go to the store and they redeem it, and they say, "Hi, it works." Then that user really never goes back to going into their car to go and get a physical gift card anymore, because it's just so easy. So it's really the convenience factor, that really sells itself.
So Sean wants you to walk through how the buying process works. When I purchase a gift card, how can the person I send it to use it?
Well, so you'll either visit the website or download our app, and you pretty much select the merchant you want to buy. If it's a Fontana, Starbucks, Island Grill, whatever, you select the value of the gift card you want, and then if you want to put personalized touch, you can add a nice little artwork, you can add a video. So if it's for your girlfriend or your mother or something of the sort, and you want to add nice the video, you can, or add a nice message. Once you have curated your gift card, you then go to the checkout, enter your credit card details, and that gift card then is then sent to the recipient via email or via SMS. Once they get that, it's a link that they click, and it opens up a nice page with a QR code with their balance, with the video if you send one, with the message if you send one. And then what the recipient is doing now is just taking that QR code image, showing it to the cashier, and the cashier then scans the QR code, and that's it.
So you guys are a tech startup in Jamaica, 3 years old. What challenges have you had trying to launch and scale this business so far?
I mean, the person see that we have so many merchants and think we did this, it's so easy. I can tell you it's extremely hard. There are a lot of challenges just in the environment itself in Jamaica and the Caribbean that makes it difficult to really build a tech first company. We have a population that it's really suffers from how would I say, tech phobia, right? Persons may be hesitant to use a Jamaican website, but they would gladly go on Amazon and buy something off Amazon, but they don't trust maybe a Jamaican site. So we have that fear factor. We also have the fear of just the unknown. So they may say, does this work? What is this? Until they actually try it. And then you have on the merchant side, whereby a lot of merchants, what we've pretty much done well is solve the reconciliation problem. So merchants are very specific on how their money flows and how their money, how they can visibly see when they get their monies and how they can track their sales. So essentially, we had to overcome that credibility hurdle as well with the merchants, because you just can't go to a merchant and say, hey, I'm GiftMe, come on board. I mean, no, it's a little bit easier because we have so many merchants. But in the early stages, we had to prove that this was a real thing. We could actually drive sales. And in building a marketplace such as ours, it's very difficult to really build both sides of the marketplace. What I mean is this: you can't have a lot of merchants on and there are no sales, and you can't have a lot of users coming to the website and there are no merchants, right? So that within itself, is what we call a chicken and egg problem. You kind of have to get both sides, the demand and the supply side, simultaneously. And so when persons come on the website and it's if you only have like 20 merchants, this is foolishness. Nobody wants to, this is a joke. So it really took a lot of strategic work in how we really built out that supply, and then simultaneously bringing users to the platform, and kind of overcoming those fears as a customer goes through that buyer journey.
How many team members do you have now?
11, and we full-time 11, and then we have a few persons who we contract sometimes.
Nice. Did you have to raise funds to do that?
Yeah. Yes, definitely. We had an angel investor, who really believed in us and believed in our vision at a very early stage, and we really use that funding to really, help us to get where we are right now.
Big ups to your angel investor.
Yeah,
How hard is it?
Every time.
How hard is it to get an angel investor? Because I feel like we have a few in Jamaica, yes, and I went to the first Angels event recently, but it hasn't reached a critical mass where it's something very popular.
No, and the sad part about it is that the startup environment is still in its infancy, right? Jamaica and the Caribbean is like way behind other territories. So investors here in Jamaica, they have not really seen a real win from a real big win from a 100% tech first company, and that kind of thing, I believe, adds to the hesitation for persons who would likely invest, but they choose to invest in other mediums like real estate or whatever it is. However, it's very difficult. You can't. This is not like the US where you just put up a pitch deck and everybody likes the idea and they say, "Hey, here is a few $100,000." No, you have to actually prove, get sales, have customers, get traction, prove that you actually have a viable business. And then persons will be, a little bit more welcoming. However, our angel, I must say, it's how we got our funding was a little bit, what would I say, not traditional. Meaning it's really the investor sought us out. We had an article in the paper, and I believe they were on the lookout for tech startups to invest in, and they made a call, and we met a number of meetings, and then he decided to, we really sold ourselves, and he invested, and trusted us, to really bring out that vision.
Did you ever have any hesitation in partnering with this or any other investor? Because a lot of founders are hesitant to give up equity in their business.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is that, again, is a chicken and egg situation, because building a new product and what we call like a new category in the market, it's very difficult. It's extremely difficult. And fintech, the fintech space is, I would say, maybe the most difficult product to build in startups. Right? You have persons who build subscription tools, subscription companies, sorry, productivity tools, all that stuff. But startups where fintech startups where you need a large influx of capital to get going, right? Because you're now marketing and want a lot of users. It's very difficult. So you need money to do it, right? But again, it's kind of a dance, right? What I always suggest is that if you can get a little bit of money, right, without giving up equity, maybe scrape up some from your friend or family, just to prove that your product works. And then you can then go to an angel investor after you have proven that it works. Because if you go too early, right, then the angel is going to say, but you don't even have a product. I'm really investing in an idea. And for that risk I'm going to take upfront for you at this stage, I'm going to need more equity, right? So I always recommend that as much as possible when you're building a startup, try and by any means necessary get money without having to sacrifice as much equity. And then a few months down the line, when you are proven that your product works, then that's when you can go to an angel, and you'll be in a much better position to say, no, we have proven this product already. It's not an idea. This is our vision. This is our market. This thing can scale throughout the Caribbean, throughout the world, etc. And at that point, you put yourself in a better position.
Your angel is Jamaican?
Yes, he is.
What is it like working with an angel investor? I know some are very involved, others are give you the money and leave you alone.
Honestly, our angel is the latter. He's not necessarily so involved in the day-to-day operations. We keep him abreast of our developments and our financials, and we meet with him on a regular basis. But he's not in this industry, so we lean on him for more strategic wisdom and making a few calls here and there, because he's somebody who is connected. But apart from that, no, he's not necessarily very much in the day-to-day operations. And to be honest, we prefer it that way, because some persons, if you have never done this before, there's a lot of chaos that happens behind the scenes, and you'd really, it's as if you're telling somebody how to grow a child. If you have never had a child before, you don't even understand what it is to grow a child. It's the same thing. If you have never built a product before, like a startup before, it's very hard for an outsider to really add that type of value in the business and the product that you're building from a day-to-day standpoint.
Sounds ideal, that type of relationship.
Yes, it is.
So I see Learn, Grow, Invest has a bunch of questions for you, and I see a question online from Patricia on Instagram as well, which is more of a technical question about the buying process. Patricia wants to know, do potential customers need to have a Jamaican telephone number to create an account?
No. So actually, the good thing is that you don't need to create an account. You can buy as a guest, right? And that was one thing that we removed in terms of the friction. A lot of persons go on an e-commerce site, and even myself, if I go on a site and you're telling me that I need to sign up immediately to make a purchase, I'm gone. All right. Because sometimes I'm just there to browse to see what you have. I can't be bothered to go through that whole sign up. So no, you can simply hop onto the website, make your purchase, and when you feel comfortable, you can then download our app, create an account, and then you can that will pretty much you can be able to access other things within the app that you can't access through the website.
Let me get into Learn, Grow, Invest series of questions. First one, who would be considered a competitor to GiftMe?
Right now, there's no like company currently in this space.
Locally.
Is
there any internationally?
in the region, I can't speak maybe internationally, but within this side of the world, we have not seen any, and we have done a good amount of research and homework. What we do really, so you have gift card companies, right, all around the world. But what the international companies do is that they simply plug into different APIs, right, for more established companies. These companies overseas, they have the infrastructure to do their own digital cards. In this side of the world, what we are providing is a digital gift card infrastructure to these brick and mortar merchants, right? So pretty much, we are bringing them online, so to speak. And from that aspect, no, there's nobody else this side of the region that does it.
So you have the potential to scale this company globally then?
Yes, we do. And really our sweet spot is underdeveloped countries, right? Merchants who need the service. So that's one of the reasons why we stuck locally, because persons always come on maybe in our chat and say, hey, do you sell Roblox gift card? Hey, do you sell Amazon gift cards? But we're local first, right? Our merchants is who we service. These guys, these Amazons and Roblox, they're like billion-dollar companies. So we really wanted to give our brick and mortar merchants the access that these other international companies have, right? And through that, as I said, just by bringing them online, immediately somebody can stay in New York and buy a gift card for somebody in Jamaica. Somebody can stay in Mobile and buy a gift card for somebody in Kingston, right? So that's kind of what that's where we focus, only on local merchants and regions that need this type of service, need brick and mortar merchants to come online.
So I guess that answers the next question. How many markets does GiftMe operate in? It's only Jamaica for now?
Only Jamaica for now. We have had numerous requests from merchants in other countries to say, when are you coming? And we have multinational companies that use us, right, to buy gift cards for their employees, and they may have offices in different countries within the region and even Latin America, and they're saying, boy, when is GiftMe coming? Because we have nothing like this here. We have to we're going to our cars, buying these gift cards in bulk and giving it to our employees. So yeah, we do have aspirations to go to other countries within the region, but to be honest, Kalilah, I mean, we have there's so much to unlock in Jamaica. It's crazy. So we are very cognizant of the fact that we want to grow, but we cannot grow too fast.
What would it take for you to scale to some of those markets? Would it require? Well, I imagine it would require more funding.
Yeah.
A lot of people watch our show, Rashidi. If you want money, tell them no. How much money I need.
A lot more.
You might get a call tomorrow.
A lot more funding. Definitely a lot more funding. That's the major thing. And we're still, GiftMe is a very expensive product. Persons may only see on the front of it that we do gift cards, but if you download our app, for example, you can request a gift card, right? So we have now introduced a new feature whereby persons who want to ask somebody for money in a nice way, they can send a gift card request, like, please call me.
Yeah, so like a please call me, please gift me.
Please gift me, right? So there's a lot of things that we haven't unlocked yet in Jamaica, and we want to ensure that when we're scaling, we have our home base secure, and we have here secure, before we really venture off into other territories. And when we scale, we just want to go into like multiple countries all at once, right? So we just have to ensure that we do it the correct way.
A couple more questions before we wrap, Rashidi. So Garvin, well, this one is a comment. Garvin says, I love GiftMe service and flexibility, especially the corporate option. Great way to reward staff. You can even use a GiftMe to pay your JPS bill. Sean wants to know, any advice for young tech entrepreneurs trying to do a startup?
Don't give up. That's always my advice.
I love the side before you said that. Like,
yeah, but it's tough. I mean, it's tough. I'm not even going to front. It's, I tell people that this is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. And I'm being honest about that. but it's very fulfilling, it's very rewarding when you can conceptualize a product or conceptualize how you can make somebody's life easier by introducing this new feature or something like that, and it comes to life and people are starting to use it and you start to monetize it, and you're really impacting your customers in a positive way. So I mean, my advice would be, just don't give up, and iterate fast, right? That's one thing. Don't get married to your idea. What GiftMe is now is not what it was supposed to be, right? It's a totally different product, and in terms of how it's morphed, right? And what I realize is that a lot of young entrepreneurs or tech founders, they kind of get married to an idea, right? And they try and try. Not to say that you can't persist on it, but you have to know when to pivot, and you have to pivot fast sometimes, or the time it takes for you to pivot into something else, maybe the difference between you surviving and your business failing.
Patricia wants to know if there's a participating merchant fee.
Yes. So yes, we do charge a merchant discount rate, because pretty much what we're doing is giving you access to these markets, and in return, you pay a fee for each gift card that's sold that we sell for you, at a fee. Yes.
Okay. So, and if a merchant is watching right now and wants to join the GiftMe platform, how can they do that?
Well, what they can do is go to shopgiftme.com. There is a button that says for merchants. Click that button. Do your pre-sign up registration form, and the merchant success manager will reach out to you to walk you through the process.
And finally, any plans to ever do an IPO?
I was waiting on that question. Persons have been asking us all the time. So, I mean, as a startup, yes, and a startup that's taking investors' funds, one of the question is, okay, how am I going to exit? Where's my exit? And an IPO is one such avenue, whereby investors will realize the gains of that investment. So yes, an IPO can be a way in which we go about that exit, but we're currently at this point in time, there are no immediate plans to list on the exchange.
Okay, what's your timeline possibly?
Why?
5 years?
That depends on a lot of things. And I mean, it really depends on how fast we grow, right? It depends on the environment, because what I mean in environment means that currently right now interest rates are very high. It's not a good time, in the equities market at this moment in time. So, so market conditions, will also determine that. And just from a valuation standpoint, as I said, there are different ways to exit. If a large, gigantic company from overseas say, "Hey, GiftMe, you have a very good product, and we want to give you X amount of money, all right, to buy you," or whatever it is, that's also can be looked at as an option versus IPOing. So, but I mean, at this moment in time, we're just really focused on growing a business, growing a real, sustainable, profitable business. And then we see that where that takes us.
Well, thank you so much, Rashidi, and all the best with GiftMe.
Thank you, Kalilah. Thanks for having me, and thank you, viewers, for your questions.
Looking forward to your growth.